All right. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. You guys, let me tell you what this show is all about. So, this is the show where we like to have open, steamy dialogue about real things, you guys. We like to talk about things in parenthood, education, employment, what else? Learning disabilities. We cover a lot of different ground with the objective of educating you. So, as we are part of my tutoring company, A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, the goal of all of these shows is education and learning. So, this is another opportunity to teach you a little something, you guys. And this episode is no different. So I am looking forward to this episode. And one of the great things about doing this podcast is all of my guests, I maintain contact with them one way or another. And I am looking forward to this podcast because while I have a brand new topic, I have a returning guest. So I have a returning guest to the show, and let me tell you, her name is Jaciann Wright. So she was on two earlier episodes with with me on Hot Topics. So check out those two episodes. One is called Entrepreneurship and Motherhood, and the other one is called Having a Baby in the Pandemic. So she was actually with me in the early episodes of Hot Topics, and now she is back on the program. So I love it when the guests come back to me. So, Jaciann Wright, she is my guest for today. And the topic today is I have a toddler. So, we're going to talk about what it means to have a toddler. And for the parents listening out there or watching out there, you may be able to relate. So, we're going to talk about life with a toddler. And I'm just going to remind you about who JCN is. I'm just going to remind you briefly. So she is a 27-year-old God fearing wife, mom, and entrepreneur. She's Jamaican born and raised halfway American. And her life goal is to retire at age 40 to generate financial freedom and wealth, creating an easier path for her daughter and showing that the world is filled with endless opportunities for herself, for her family, and for other entrepreneurs. All right, beautiful. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring JCN to the stage. Hi, JCN, how you doing today?
Hi. Hello. How's it going?
Good, good, good. It's been a long time.
I
Thank you for coming
know.
back to the show.
Thank you for having me back.
Great, great. So you were burning to talk about this, right? So life as a toddler. So as I mentioned in the intro, you were with me in the earlier stages of the podcast. You talked about having a baby in the pandemic, right? And
hmm
now it's how like 2 years later, right?
Three, actually,
3 years
well,
later.
yeah, turning 3 in May, so
Three,
three.
three, almost 3 years later. How
Yeah,
much time flies.
yeah.
So you were burning to talk about this.
Oh
So
my God.
talk to us. How has it been? How has it been with your toddler?
Listen, it's nothing that I expected, nothing that I signed up for. I didn't sign up for none of this. I'm joking. But no, it's been an amazing 3 years. Listen, you think that once you become a mom, this is how it's gonna go. Yeah, absolutely not. Whatever plan I had, it went right through the door the moment everything. The moment I became a mom. And I always remembered when I used to say, "Oh my God, I can't wait until she grew up. I can't wait until she could do this. I can't wait until she could do that." And now it's constant. Samara, stop. Samara, stop. Samara. I can't get anything done. But I love her so dearly, and at this stage, she wants to get into everything, and she's asking, "What's this? What's that?" And I'm having to explain it, and then she doesn't forget anything. So I love it. It's a love hate relationship. And then you have times like these tonight where I'm having to be like, all right, I gotta get my husband. It's like a well put together plan. All right, this is what's gonna happen at this moment. At this moment, this is this X, Y, and Z. We gotta make sure she's showered by 8:30. Make sure this is done, because then we have to also leave room for her having to get whatever else out the way. So it's a roller coaster. Nothing ever goes as planned anymore. Anytime I plan my day, my week, my weekend, it always turns into something that I didn't plan. But at the end of it all, when it's all said and done, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. And it's day at a time, step at a time, and I'm grateful.
So you said, you said something interesting. It's a love-hate relationship,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And I don't have kids, so
Mhm.
but my understanding is, there's this phenomenon called the terrible twos, right?
It's
So
beyond that. I don't listen. It's beyond that. Okay, it
how
is
so?
beyond. It's terrible toddler. That's what this should be called. Because
Do
after
tell.
they start walking and talking, it's a lot. And listen, I buy wipes for her dolls, because everything that I do to her now, as far as feeding her, changing her, she's now mimicking at the doll. Certain this for me. This is the stage where she's exploring. So I can't yell at her, be mad at her for every little thing that she does. I have to then in turn explain certain things to her, right? For her to understand. So things that I would typically get upset about, I have to remember that, hey, now she doesn't understand. This is her exploring. The other day, my husband, we decided we had to repaint for the season, summer's coming, spring and everything. And I said to him, I said, listen, there's no point in painting the walls in her room. And so said, so done. It's like a chalkboard in there. So I decided that I'm going to they have the chalkboard paint. I'm going to get that. I'm going to put it on one side of her wall. I'm just going to let her have fun. It's so of me having to find ways to go around or mastermind or, manipulate her inquisitiveness, her wanting to get into stuff, her wanting to learn things. Oftentimes, um, they have this thing now called gentle parenting. I'm like in the middle of gentle parenting and Caribbean parenting, kind of. So it's like, rather than me saying, "Oh my God," yelling at her, "You marked on the wall," screaming, whatever. I just say, "No, you're not supposed to." Write on the wall, give her paper. Obviously, 10 minutes later she's going to go back to the wall. So rather than, like I said, me always getting upset or yelling or screaming or putting stuff away that's hindering her from learning how to hold a pencil and learning how to write, I'm going to go just paint the wall in chalkboard paint, so that this way I'll teach her that that's the only part of the wall, or this wall is the only wall that you're supposed to write on. So just finding ways, and it's a learning experience for me and for her and my husband, because we're all new to this. She's never been a child to a person before. She's just learning, and I've never been a parent. So it's just all a learning curve for all of us.
So it sounds like you're negotiating, right? So
Yes.
instead of, because you mentioned before about um, being a gentle parent and the Caribbean
Hmm.
parent. And, I have Caribbean parents. I myself,
Hmm.
I'm Caribbean, so I know we're like tough love. Like that's when it
Yes.
comes to Caribbean
Yeah.
parenting. It's
Yeah.
tough love. I'm the
Yeah.
parent, you're the
You're
child, you're supposed to
ex-
do it whatever I'm saying.
exactly, exactly,
Don't
ex-
ask me why, because I said so.
exactly. So it's
Right.
just like it's like a test of the patience too. Like I'm having to be like, all right, I gotta remember. So it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So, and then it sounds like you're negotiating. So instead of yelling at her saying don't
Hmm.
do that, you're saying, you know what, she's gonna draw.
Regard-
Let's
regardless,
put some special paint on the wall. And
regardless. Yeah.
so tell us more about why you decided to do that type of blending parenting. Why not just be strictly Caribbean or strictly gentle? Why mix the both of them?
I think for me, I had a little bit of both. At some point in my childhood, when I was around 12, 13, I migrated here. Live with my stepmom. So I was able to be exposed to that kind of parenting where it's open, where it's like, okay, this is what's happening. Like I want to say have options where it's like, all right, like, okay, I have an opinion then, or I'm able to give my input, or she's able to put to me, all right, you could do pink or purple. Which one do you want? And not here, it's pink. You're a girl, take it, kind of a thing. So where I. That's one of the reasons why I'm able to blend. I chose to blend both because I was exposed to both styles. On the other hand, where they talk about spanking, I try not to turn to that or lean to that because she is still 2, going 3. She doesn't really understand certain things. So I try not to raise my voice at her, and to go to that extreme level because she's 2, she's 3, she doesn't understand certain things. I rather explain stuff to her because I understand I understand that she understands when I explain stuff. Because sometimes she'll do something, and I'm like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "That's not nice." Or I try to turn it into her favorite cartoons rather than me. They say you could give them a tap on the hand or the leg. I try to go to that resort first. Sometimes she does comprehend. Sometimes it goes, but it's also practice. I have to repetition, sorry. I have to continue to use that with her. And it'll stick. Sometimes when I say to her, "That's not nice, you weren't nice," you could tell that I've hurt her feelings. So then she knows now, okay, what I did just now is not what mommy wants me to do. Sometimes she'll come and she'll say, "I'm sorry." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Don't do it again." Obviously she's gonna do it again because she's 2, but I could tell that it's sticking, and I feel like at some point, she'll grasp it all together.
All right, so the more that it's repetition,
Yeah.
that's key.
Hmm.
It's like drilling into her
Yeah.
head, like it's
Yeah.
not nice, it's not nice,
Yeah.
right? And then she'll replicate the behavior that you want.
Exactly. Exactly.
So wait, she's your only child? I thought you had
Yeah.
another one.
No,
Oh.
I have a sister girl. My sister's my child that wasn't born from me, but she's my child.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a
oh.
sister that's, oh my gosh, she's like 11 now. Whoa, yeah, she's 11, 11, 12. No, she's 11. Yeah, she's 11 now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
your
Mm-hmm.
real child now.
Yeah,
So
first real.
now let's see. So now you're at a stage where when your daughter was a baby, you had
Mm-hmm.
to do things for her, right?
Yeah.
And now that she's a toddler, she wants to do things for herself.
Oh, a whole lot. Okay.
So tell us about that.
At first, the feeding was one that I, not that I hated it, but it was just like, all right, she wants to feed herself, but she's gonna make a mess. Like no matter where or what, she's just it's just know it's gonna be a mess. I'm in this mom group, thank God. So I'm in this is faith-based mom group, and I express it that I come home from work, we're both tired, and once the dinner's made, she wants to feed herself, and it's frustrating that after she's done playing, eating, doing whatever, I now have to go behind her and clean up all of that mess and clean up everybody else's mess to clean it. So my mom just said, give it time. Everything again with kids and toddlers comes back to repetition. So give it time. She will get better. You have to teach her, these things slowly here and there. And now she still makes a mess, but it's not as bad. And what I've learned to also do is I'll whatever wherever she's eating, and now let her do either on the bed or on the floor. I'll spread like a blanket, and I'll tell her you have to stay in the square. And she'll sit there. She'll eat. Once it's done, I roll it up, bring it outside, shake it off, toss it in the laundry. Done. So it's just to learn how to do things. That's one less thing I have to do now. I haven't fed her in almost a year. When she's eating dinner, eating whatever, she feeds herself. The other day we practiced with porridge, so that was a big win. She finally learned how to feed herself porridge. So we're going clear. That's it. There's no going back. So that was one thing that I used to do for her that I felt like I was losing control, and two, I felt like it was a burden. For me, it was a burden. But repetition.
So now how did you teach her? What did you do?
I
How did you
actually didn't. She ever since she was smaller, when walking, whatever, she's independent. When she sees you doing something, she wants to do it herself. So it was never something that I said, all right, it's time to feed yourself. It was something that she wanted to do on her own. The only thing that we are struggling with right now is potty training. That is not for the weak. Okay.
how's that going,
Woo!
the potty training?
Not great. It's hot mess, an absolute mess. I'm convinced she's scared of her potty. Everyone keeps saying give her time, be patient with her, repetition, but repetition is not working for this. I've tried everything in the book. I've tried everything from every mom. It's just not happening.
Like
Um,
what? Tell us what you've tried.
I've tried to let her go when I go. I've tried to let her go in the bathroom with me. I've tried to use to time her, to let her run naked, every 2 hours, to sit her down. She peed in the potty twice, and this is how I came up with the idea that I think she's scared of the potty, or maybe it's because it's new to her. When she's sitting there, I left her. She was there, and then when I looked, she came. She came out her room because I had it in her room. She came out of her room, and she's all wet. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you peed in the potty!" I'm like trying to, create excitement, praises, whatever, because she likes praises. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you peed in the potty!" And she goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All done?" And she said, "Yes." And I went back, and it's all over the floor. A little bit is in the potty. Gave her praises, whatever. I'm like, "What happened?" Okay. Cleaned it up, gave her praises, gave her candy, tell her good girl, yada, kept it pushing. I said, all right, I'm going to time her again to see what happens. Timed her again, put her to sit down. As soon as she's peeing and the pee is coming, she jumps up. So I don't know if she's scared of the potty or she's scared of the pee and she doesn't know what to do. But then it's like when she watches me go, if I'm peeing, she'll come and she'll ask me if I have to potty. And I said, yes. I'll say to her, I say, yes. I say, you want to potty with mommy? And she said, no. And she'll be like there and she's peeking. And then once I'm done and I'm flushing the toilet, washing my hands, she says, bye-bye, potty. And I'm like, really? But it's supposed to be your potty. I'm like, you want to come potty? And she says, no. And she'll wash her hands. She'll ask to wash her hands with me. She'll wash her hands and that's it. She will not go. She will not sit on the toilet. I, I don't know.
You
I,
sound you
I,
sound frustrated.
so at this point, I'm just like, whatever it happens, it happens. If it happens, it's not happening. I don't know what it is. And she communicates with me perfect for everything. But after she poops, she'll let me know. Sometimes she'll use the baby as the example, her doll as the example, to say the baby pooped or the baby got peed. But she will not. I don't know what it is. Don't know what. I've tried.
You definitely sounds like you tried.
It's been a ride with this potty in. It's been a ride. So
Well,
I
how
don't
long has this been going on?
almost a year consistently. I would say the past 6 months. But I've been trying with her on and off for a year. She'll sit and nothing will happen. I time her to the T. I'll do it when she wakes up. Typically on the weekends when we're home together. And as soon as she wakes up, I know she pees. So as soon as she wakes up, I'll say, all right, let's go sit. And she'll sit and she's there and nothing. Like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like nothing. And as soon as I put the pillows back on, as soon as she gets up, she's peeing everywhere. And I'm like, come on, and sometimes she'll go and then I'll bring her back and I say, you have to sit on the potty and pee there. And then she'll sit there. But by the time she's sitting there, she's done. So there's nothing left to come and I'll time her again. And it's like the same thing over and over. And this will happen for 2-3 days. and nothing. And everyone's saying, "Oh, give her time, 3 days with the same thing, routine, it'll come." And I'm just like, "Yeah, it's not coming." I don't know if she's scared of the pee. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
So when
So
you say you time her, what does that mean? What do you mean?
so they're saying like at this age they should pee like every 2 hours with regular fluids based on other moms and like the doctors and like what you see, like they say like every 2 hours they should pee. And it's like, or however often I go pee, I just take her with me. My mom was also saying to put her on the potty in the bathroom and run the water. But I'm like, when she sees the water running, she wants to go to wash her hands. So the water for her is a distraction. So
Mm.
yeah. Yeah. Once it's running, she wants to wash her hands. That's it. And even if you're in the room with her and you say to her, "You want to go in the potty or you want to go to the bathroom to pee?" She'll say yes. But in her mind, she's saying yes to go wash her hands. She's not saying yes to actually go sit on the potty. So yeah, we going through it over here.
You go. Well, is it just you? Do you have people helping you?
Um, the daycare helps, but it's the same thing. Like daycare will do, but it's the same thing. Like she just won't go. And like I said, I'm in a mom group, and they give me. I promise you, they are amazing. They give me amazing advice. Almost everything they've ever advised to give me works, but this just it just won't. And one mom just said to just give her time, and I said okay. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna leave it alone. We'll
So,
see.
I mean, at least you're trying, right? So
Yeah,
you went to your mom group, you went to the daycare,
yeah,
you've gotten all this advice and you're practicing it.
yeah. It's And here I thought getting her off the pacifier was hard. Yeah, this is
Or,
hard. No,
or
no
getting
one
her off
talked
the
about this.
pacifier. Tell us
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
Oh, she just got off the pacifier like how long ago? A few months ago. She just got off. That broke me to the core because she was crying. She did that within about 2-3 days, 3 nights. It took about three nights, and then eventually, she was good. It was when I went to her last doctor visit. They were like, "Yeah, it's time because it's messing with her teeth. How her teeth is shaping." They were like, "Yeah, it's time. It has to go." And I'm like, what do I do? How do I do it? Because at this point, I was limiting giving it to her. She was only getting it at bedtime or for car rides, just to, soothe her. And then she was like, "Yeah, no cold turkey." And I'm like, "Cold turkey?" She said, "Yeah, cold turkey." She said, "Tonight, cold turkey." And I'm like, I don't know about that. So my husband, he was like, "Yeah, it's time to get rid of it for real." And I'm like, "No, it's not." Because listen, once she gets in her car seat, and we're driving off, she's asking for it. She doesn't have it, she's crying the entire ride. Like if the ride's an hour, she's gonna cry for that hour until she gets to where she has to get. Like her tantrums are bad. And my husband's like, "No, it's really time." I said, "Okay." So I stepped with her in her bed, and she asked for it, and I said, "No, we can't have it. It's not here. It's gone bye. The first night was horrible because she didn't really sleep. She went to bed. Typically, we go lay down like 10:30, depending on, how the day went. Takes her like half an hour to 45 minutes to fall asleep. She didn't go to sleep until like 2 that morning. And then she woke back up at like 4. And then she went back. She dozed back off in a cry fit. And then, did she sleep? I don't remember. Long story short, it was a long 3 nights, but eventually we made it. I was reaching to Facebook for moral support because it was bad. Because sometimes she'll fall asleep and she'll wake up in the middle of her sleep looking for it, crying for it, and I'm tired. She's tired. We're both tired. And at one point, I know I was crying because I'm like, I want to go to sleep, but I can't yell at her because I'm doing this to her, and oh, I was definitely up on 3 nights. Just to be clear, 3 nights. I'll never forget one of the nights. I went to, because I have a coworker who has a son that's about a year older than her, but he never was on any of those. And I'll never forget when I went to work and I'm sitting there and I'm at the computer and she goes, "Oh my God, what's wrong? Like you're not yourself." I'm like, "Girl, I'm trying to take her off of the pacifier. And it's just not it. It's just not it." And I'm like, at this point, I'm just gonna give it back to her. It is what it is. I'll spend the money on braces when she's however old. It's okay. It is what it is. And then I came back and I told my husband, like, "Listen, I can't do this." And he goes, "No." He goes, "No, you have to. You came too far. You're 3 days in. It's too far." Fourth night, she asked for it. She whined, but she went to sleep quicker, faster. Throughout, for about the first month, she kept asking, but not as persistent. And then the other day, I had the old one in the fridge, and I gave it to her, and I'm like, "Here." And she said, "Oh," because she calls it a bobo. She said, "Oh, it's a bobo." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You remember it?" And she said, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "What are you gonna do with it?" And she looked at it, she just gave it back to me. And I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus." I said, "Thank you, Jesus." So we're good. So, it's some things come easier than the other. And I don't know, this potty stuff, I don't know. I think I've tossed the towel in on that one. And I guess when it happens, it happens. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's like once you once you reach that point, it's a relief,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. When she just gave it back, and I'm like, "Oh yes, God, thank you, thank you, Jesus." I was like, "Thank you, Jesus." So that's it. It's no going back. But I said, you know what? The next child, I'm not doing that to myself. That was actually one of the hardest things I think I've ever had to do, apart from like her being sick or whatever the case is. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. It was.
So now this experience made you think of the next child. So
Oh yeah.
what would you change?
Oh, the pacifier for sure. It's not. I If I
You're
don't
not
have to introduce it, I no. Because I was even talking to my coworker. Her son didn't. She didn't really introduce it to him as a baby. But here's the thing. She's my Yes, the roof. That's what it was with her. The roof of her mouth. Even the other day, my mom said it to me. My mom was like, "Don't you see that it's not? It looks like it's starting to look normal again." And I'm like, "Yeah, like yeah, the roof for real. Like it's bad. They're really bad." But I'm talking to a coworker, and she was like, she never really introduced it to her son. She said after he turned like 6 months, she started to take it away. And he was never attached to it. So I'm like, all right, that's the route we're gonna go for the next child, because I'm not going through this. I am not again. With
mm,
the potty training, maybe I could go through it again. It is what it is.
well, you
But the
don't have a
pacifier,
choice with
well,
the potty training. You don't have
well,
a
that part, yeah,
choice.
yeah, you're right. But the pacifier, oh no, Gabrielle, that.
Yeah, I heard that too. Is one lady I know at my church. She's like, I don't like to give babies pacifiers. Like I do it for one
No,
month and that's it. So
yeah, it's not. I know now. I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you're becoming a mom, people don't tell you these things. Like these things aren't talked about. It's more like, oh, don't give that baby that pacifier, or give it to the baby. Let the baby stop crying, kind of a thing. And they don't talk about like that's an after effect of giving a baby a pacifier. That's what that is. Like she doesn't know how to self-soothe herself. Now she goes to sleep like it's nobody's business. Like she lay down, lights out. That's it.
well,
So
then that's why pacifiers are there, right? It's all
yeah,
about
the soothe.
stopping that crying,
Yeah.
right? So it's the crying. That's what seems to
Hmm.
get moms.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I've actually learned now looking back that the crying isn't as bad as I thought it was or could be, because once I know the baby is fed, they're not hungry, and they're dry, you know 20 minutes crying here or there really doesn't hurt, because even now as a toddler, if she does something or she's fussing for something that I know, like, she has no business fussing at, I chose I choose to ignore her sometimes. Sometimes there's things that she loves attention. So I realize she loves attention, but she know I have a soft spot for her. Because certain things that she'll do to me, she will never try with my husband, and vice versa. Something she'll do with him, she'll never try it with me. So sometimes she'll be crying for certain things, and just to get her to stop crying, I'll just say, whatever, just give it to her, or here, take it, whatever. And she's using that now to her advantage to get to me. Sometimes she'll be making noise, but there's no tears coming. So now I choose to ignore her when it comes to certain things, because now she wants to drink water from her actual water bottle, from a plastic water bottle, rather than in a sippy cup or through a straw. She wants to be able to turn the bottle to her head, but when she does that, she's messing up herself. She's getting herself wet, especially when it's time for bed. When she doesn't want to go to sleep, she'll say, "Oh, I want water." And I'm like, "No, you don't." But she's like, "Yeah, I want water." Because there's one more thing. There's one more thing for her to be up. Up and about. She don't gotta go lay down.
And the potty
So
training, and it's
exactly. So then it's like, all right, I want water. I'm like, she just starts throwing a fit for water. I'm like, no, you don't. Ignore her. 5-10 minutes after that, she's gone. So it's just like, if I had given in to give her the water, every time she wants something, she's going to resort to fussing and crying because she knows that I'll just give in. So I'm learning. I'm getting better.
and that's the thing about, the terrible twos. Like, children learn how to manipulate their
Manipulates.
parents.
Oh yeah, because she gets me real good. No, she really does. She gets me really good.
I just want to take a moment to read these comments here from Dr. Lamar Spencer. Hey, Dr. Lamar. So she totally understands about the pacifier. She says, "No cold turkey. You may be up all night." She used to cry, cursing. Um, she gave you some encouragement. Hang in there.
Thank
It
you.
cost you over 10K with the braces and the oral surgery.
Well,
Oh man.
we was at that point. At the point, I was just like, it is what it is. How much ever money I will spend it, take the pacifier. But I'm glad I made it on the other side. I'm
Yes, you did.
really glad I did.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. So now, s- so how are things with? Well, how about her? Oh, she gave you some encouragement, Dr. Spencer. You're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes moms just need some encouragement. You're doing
Listen,
great.
okay, they don't tell you these things.
Well, now there's all these books out there, right? There's books, I'm sure there's YouTube videos. Like, do you think it's helping that there's all these resources that's out there?
There is this one book that was called Happy Baby or something like that. I read it and I don't think it did much. I feel like every situation is one child, every child is different kind of a thing. And the other thing is, it's also, for me, I guess, is when see, I don't think they do. I feel like once you're having the face-to-face conversation with a mom who just been through it, I feel like it's you're able to relate to it a little bit more. So for me, I don't think they help. I mean, I've
Yeah,
never actually tried to watch a YouTube video, but books, I don't think the books help. Not for me, at least.
yeah. Dr. Spencer just said,
Yeah,
"Girl, books don't work."
yeah, yeah. I don't think so. That.
And why is it? Is it more like it's sort of like every child is different type mentality? So
I think that's what it is. And I feel like maybe too, because books don't have the best way for me to explain it, books don't have flavor. Like, you're talking to a mom, and the mom would say, "Well, listen, when my child did this or my child did that, this is what I did." And then you'll have another mom who says something, and sometimes you'll pick and choose what you take from this mom and that mom, and you'll put it together, and you make your own little spin to it. So it's all, I feel like it's just also, so different per child. Yeah, like each child is so different, because even, let's say for example, like she has a stomach problem. So she's allergic to oatmeal and a whole bunch of other stuff. So there's this other mom whose daughter has a similar issue, the same symptoms that my daughter was having when she was a baby, trying to, figure out what was going on with the stomach issue, but she was diagnosed with something totally different. So think like if they were supposed to really go medical on the medical direction, it's the same diagnosis, but it was two different things. You know what I'm saying? So just like trial and error kind of a thing.
Sorry, Dr.
Listen,
Spencer
I
just
don't
said.
think you can outgrow that. I sometimes have night and day.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Dr. Spencer just said my daughter is 14 and still has nights and days mixed up. Oh man,
Oh,
it's that pacifier, Dr. Spencer. It's that pacifier. Oh man. Oh my God. So you brought up something about confusing messages, right?
mm-hmm.
So you have books tell you one thing, videos tell you something else. Then you ask your parents, right? Because
Oh
they've
yeah.
been through it with you,
Oh yeah.
right? You
Oh
ask your parents, you ask your mom friends, you
yeah.
ask all these different people, and they're all telling you different things.
Different things. Especially, you know what's one that's very is like, all right, gas. When a baby have gas or they have like they're griping, doctors will tell you nothing really works. It just makes them comfortable. And then I'm Caribbean, so we have all the different remedies for that. But that's a whole different
We
ball game.
got Bush.
Listen, okay. So then I never get to when she was just born too. My mom's landlord had went to Jamaica and she brought up some whole bunch of stuff and I'm looking at her and I'm like, I'm not giving my she's like 6 weeks old. I'm not giving her this. But I forgot what some bush she had brought up in olive oil and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. And then you have your mom friends who are telling you other things. It's just like, all right, and you read a book, and then the book is saying, all right, do this, do that. I mean, a little bit of everything works, but in that scenario, I do believe that nothing really helps with gas. It just helps to make them, come as comfortable as possible. That's my personal, from my experience.
Oh man, oh man. So what about the burping? That's another thing.
So with her, I had to burp her every 2 ounces because she was premature. So she was a preemie. So her feeding schedule and habits was 100% different. I had to burp her every 2 hours no, not every 2 hours, for every 2 ounces, up until she was about almost 4 months. And then after I would even get to solid like cereals and stuff, because then she was allergic to grains. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So the burping stuff, it works. But does it really work? I don't know. Again, it's to help to relieve, not to take it away altogether. So, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh man. So it's you went through a lot, right? And I
Oh
think
yeah.
you did mention your child is premature. So
Hmm.
do you think that's it's affecting her differently as a toddler?
As a toddler, no, she has surpassed all her milestones and where she needs to be as far as growth and all that stuff. The only thing that I would say contributed, she has asthma. So I think it has to do with her being premature because I went into labor 33 weeks. When they were giving me the steroids for her lungs, I was only able to get one dose and not two. She was in the NICU for 8 days, nothing crazy. But I think it played its part. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Dr. Spencer has a comment here. I used to give people dirty looks when people would ask, "How are you?" Do you find yourself doing that?
What in what scenario? In what case?
Oh, well, I'm assuming, when people ask how's motherhood, how's parenthood, did you ever have the assumption that how do you think it is? Like you don't see it on my face?
I
Like
mean, so you know what gets me? It's when they sometimes like if I'm I'm looking rough, and it's like yeah, and I'm like he like especially if they're also a mom or if they experience what it's like to be a mom. Because like I feel like some folks try to let it look like it's perfect or easy, and it's, I don't care when no one says it's not. It's one of the hardest thing ever. And whew, we mommy should get at least 6 months off of work, paid. Okay, not easy. And even like just adjusting, like I'm still adjusting. Like I'm still, now I'm getting into the stages where okay, I'm somewhat adjusted to her, daycare, work, a routine, and then now I'm gonna have to change that routine for her when she starts school or 3K, whatever the case is. And when she's sick, like at the ending of the day, I'm having to be the one to have to call out. You know what I'm saying? So that also is like a big thing where it's just like, geez, maybe there should be a thing for moms when it comes to their children, because at the ending of the day, what job is going to allow you to keep calling out every other month or something like that? Because she gets sick often. Once there's a virus going around, I have to be extra careful, because when she gets sick, she's gonna then get an asthma flare. Like, it's no questions asked. She's getting that flare. It's coming. I just have to prepare myself. Thank God I have an amazing boss who is understanding, and I'm able to, if I switch my days, work a half day, do all that kind of stuff, because at the ending of the day, for one, I don't want to send her to daycare sick, and daycare is not going to take her sick. So somebody has to have to keep her. If my mom can't keep her, it's between me and my husband to alternate calling out, taking days, switching, doing all this stuff. So we just got to say thank God for amazing. We work for amazing companies that understands, and they know up front that, hey, she's a sick child, or not as sick as your average child, but she does get sick, and when she gets sick, she's sick. So yeah, sometimes people get a dirty look here and there.
So now you also bring up another interesting point about balance. Now you have to go back to work, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
well, you're an interesting case because you have your regular job in the day and then you still have your
Business.
business.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you navigate that? Now, now it's got to go. You have your regular job and you have your business. So how do you balance
Honey,
the,
okay. Not for the week. So yeah, I work. I'm typically off on a Friday, Saturday. My husband will pick 2 days out of the week before. We'll be like, all right, these are my 2 days that when I come in, I don't know you and I don't know her. Y'all figure it out. Whatever y'all gonna eat, figure it out. Like whatever it is, y'all figure it out. I have to go into the office and I have to just get stuff done. I have to get orders, and I have to limit my orders. I think back when my first two um interviews with you, I was with paparazzi. I'm no longer with paparazzi now. I have my own hand. I do rhinestone art on whatever canvas. So that now is way more time consuming, and she can't be around because sometimes the glue that I use can be toxic if it's inhaled, for a long period of time. She's young, lungs, all that good stuff. So it's just like I'm having to be in my office by myself, just getting stuff done. Sometimes what I'll do, let's say I know I'm gonna be off Friday, I'll stay up all night Thursday. Once I get her to bed, I'll stay up Thursday and I just get stuff done. And then I'll nap at some point Friday. And it's not, I don't have a perfect schedule yet. It's just what works as of right now.
and I remember from one of our previous episodes, you like to plan everything out.
I
So
try.
you're a planner.
Yes, yes. I try my best to. Like I tell you, nothing ever go as planned. I've been trying to go to the eye doctor for the past 3 months, and I haven't been able to go. I finally just made another appointment, but yes, I try my best to plan, especially now with the business where everything takes time, and if a customer orders something and they need it by a deadline, I have to make sure that I meet that deadline. So then now I'm having to say, all right, this customer I have to get pushed back, or I have to start this now, give myself these amount of days to finish it, and then it has to cure, all that good stuff. So I have a little, I don't have it with me. I have about 2 or 3 notebooks. I just bought another one today. I have one for my business, I have one for the house, one for appointments, and then every morning I try to put them together under one planning for the day or for the week. I also recently just bought a digital planner from a friend of mine who has now have a digital planner that kind of helps, because what I'll do is if I'll plan out for 2 weeks at a time, when it comes to every 2 days, I'll just move stuff over to that, so then it's in my hand. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, but simple enough for me to be able to look at it real quick and be like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be. And that's that. So yeah, I'm staying afloat.
So you're trying to get a system going, right? So you're
Yes,
trying to
I
write
am.
things down
Yeah.
and organize things
Yeah.
because your life is chaos now with a
It's
toddler and a
tough.
business and your regular job. So
Crazy.
now it's
And then
get
her
in order.
appointments, because then now she also have she's hemoglobin C, so then they've been sending her to do blood work like every 2 or 3 months, so then I have to make sure that I'm scheduling her, make sure her appointments are scheduled the proper right way. And yeah, yeah,
So you have all your things going on and now
all of hers.
all of hers, right? So it's more doctor's appointments
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're getting there though. I haven't messed that up yet, so haven't messed it up yet. So yeah, I'm good.
Do you talk to her pediatrician about all that's going on with like the potty training and the pacifier? Like how often do you talk to her doctor about these things?
So we used to see her doctor more frequently. Now that she's older, haven't seen them. The last time we saw them was almost 6 months now. So we're at like a 6 month span now with her. Seeing them, we haven't spoke about potty training, but the pacifier, yes, they did help. She was the one who said just go cold turkey, call it a day, it is what it is, cold turkey, that's it. So that was her advice there. At the last appointment too, they actually worried, she has a list,
Hmm.
so they're actually a little worried about that. But in New York, you have to be in the school system to be able to get a consultation. School have to set it up, whatever. But I'm not worried about it as yet, because I don't see what's hindering her. When
Hmm.
she says certain words, though, you can hear it. But
Hmm.
I'm not worried to the point where like, oh my God, speech delays, speech is no, because she could speak. When she speaks, I understand her, and
Hmm.
she's getting a little accent too, so maybe that has to do with it. I don't know. So I'm not too worried yet. She's going back when she turns 3, so maybe we'll address that and the potty training then. But as of right now, yeah, it's not alarming for me.
You're taking things
Yeah.
one day at a time.
Yeah, we've had a lot of runs with the doctors. They know her, all right. They know her.
Oh man. All right. Well, listen, we're having a lot of fun, but we're going to wrap things up now. All right. So, do you have any words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our audience?
Listen, if you are a toddler mom and your house is not clean or put together, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. That's another thing too that I was like, oh my God, it has to be in order. No, it's okay, because yeah, it's fine. So that's my words of wisdom. If you're a mom and your house isn't all the way together what it used to be, it's fine. You have a toddler. It is what it is. It's temporary.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ACN, thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining me today. And thank you for coming back on Hot Topics.
Of course.
All right. So let's promote yourself. All
Oh,
right. So, you guys, so Jaciann writes, if you want to follow her, you can follow her on Facebook. It's her personal profile. It's just JCN. There's two N's in her name.
hey.
She is also on Instagram and TikTok. It's the same account handle. It's underscore Jamaican underscore goddess underscore. So pay attention to those three underscores there. So of course, follow her on all of these accounts. Stay in touch with her, reach out to her, give her some encouragement, you guys. She can use that encouragement. If you just want to give her some words of encouragement, send her a DM because she
And
could
I'm
use the
always asking
encouragement.
on Facebook. I always
Uh,
go to Facebook. Whenever I
mhm.
have a mommy question, I'm always there. So y'all be it's okay to comment because I need the help.
All right, so give her some help, you guys. Give her some help. Just send her some messages, a DM, something. Give her some, even just words of encouragement.
Yeah.
Girl, you got this. Keep going. Hit her up, you guys. She could use the encouragement. So, yes, all of this information, of course, is scrolling below at the bottom of your screen. If you're watching this on video, if you're listening to this on a podcast, I didn't forget about you. This information, of course, is in the description. So, however, you are taking in this episode, whether you are watching it or whether you are listening to it, this information is available at your fingertips one way or another. So I encourage you to find Jaciann. She is on that social media, you guys. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So I encourage you to follow her. I encourage you to give her some words of encouragement, give her some advice, whatever you got to do to get her through this, you guys. So we got to give her some support. Oh man. All right. So thank you, JCI, so much. Thank
Thank
you again.
you.
All right. I'll place you backstage. All right, you guys. So that was definitely an enlightening episode. I definitely learned a lot. So I got some things to think about whenever that day comes that I have a child of my own. So now I know what to do. But yes, you guys, thank you again for joining me again on Hot Topics. And we've reached the conclusion of yet another episode. So I just want to take a moment to remind you that Hot Topics is a production of my company, A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So if you have a child, right, if you're a parent watching this, or you know other children and you know that they're struggling with school, whether they have maybe they're falling behind, or maybe they just need to catch up, or they're promotion in doubt, or maybe they just need time management or homework help, or you just need someone on top of your kid, right? Because you don't got the time for that, right? Reach out to us, reach out to our tutors. Our website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You could also send us an email. It is success at a step ahead tutoringservices.com. You can call or text us. Text is preferred to a phone call, but either way works. The number is 347-762-2838. And you can find us on our multiple social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp, and Eventbrite. So hit us up on social media, you guys. And while you're at it, follow us, like us, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Whatever that button says, do it, you guys. Stay in touch with us while you are on our accounts at social media. So, of course, our information is at the bottom of the screen right now. If you're watching this on video, if you're listening to this on a podcast, the information is in the description. One way or another, the information is at your fingertips. So, if you're looking for any kind of tutoring services, hit us up, you guys. The website again, www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. And I also want to encourage you to leave your feedback about the episode for today. Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Leave us your feedback, you guys. Drop a comment in the comment section or in the comment thread. If you're listening to this on a podcast, give us a rating on whatever platform that you're listening to. Good Pods, you could leave a comment, leave a note. However, you are taking in this episode right now, give us your feedback about this episode, you guys. And make sure you share this episode with all the moms out there, because I'm sure there's moms out there that need encouragement, that need advice. Maybe they have toddlers of their own. Share this episode with all of your mom friends, you guys. And let's give these moms some some encouragement and I guess encouragement and words of wisdom and advice and resources. That's what it was. Encouragement, words of wisdom, resources, everything wrapped up in a little bow in this episode, you guys. So I encourage you to do that today. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to you joining me on the next episode. Thank you guys again. And now I am signing off. Bye, you guys.